I'll do some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is my boomstick. Here's Johnny.
I have to return some videotapes. We'll tear your soul apart.
Hello and welcome to the hungry, wet and bright episode of All Things Horror. I am your host Ben and I am joined here with a lovely special guest, my wife Alana. If you're new to the show, each week we choose a movie to break down and review, giving our honest opinions and rating it from 1 to 10. We have a brief spoiler-free chat about the movie before we head into the plot and discuss our favourite and least favourite parts of the movie. We're continuing on our Christmas horrors, so this week we're going to be reviewing Gremlins from 1984. But before we do, let's take a quick look at the trailer.
Steven Spielberg presents Gremlins. Billy Pelser has a nice home.
Billy, is that you?
Yeah, Mom, it's me.
A nice job. A nice girl.
If you're not doing anything this Thursday night, maybe you'd like to go out on a date with me?
I'd love to.
And loving parents who are about to give him
You're gonna like this. No, don't shake it. We're gonna have to open it now. It won't wait till Christmas.
the most unusual gift he ever got.
What is it?
It's your new pet.
Come on, Barney, be a good dog. My dad gave it to me.
But there are a few things to keep in mind. If you expose it to the light, you may hurt it. If you get it wet, it will multiply.
All that from water? They got wet?
Yeah, plain water.
And most important, no matter how much they beg, never let them eat after midnight. Because when they do, they change. They become clever, mischievous,
What's going on here?
and dangerous.
Gremlins, huh? Little monsters.
Right.
Hundreds of them.
Well, I don't know, maybe thousands.
They've been here too. Billy, what are these things? Where do they come from?
Look, I know it sounds crazy, I know. But in a few hours, you're gonna have a major disaster on your hands.
Gremlins, directed by Joe Dante. They'll be expecting you.
Alright, so a young man inadvertently breaks 3 important rules concerning his new pet and unleashes a horde of malevolent, mischievous monsters on a small town. This is directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus. Main cast is Zach Galligan, Phoebe Cates, Dick Miller, Corey Feldman, and Howie Mandel. Running time is 1 hour 46 minutes, and it's available pretty much anywhere. At Christmas, it pops up more, and I think it was recently added to Now TV. So yeah, first and foremost, welcome back to All Things Horror.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you.
Very excited. We'll have to apologise for the delay to your viewers.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, this one.
Yeah, we've moved house.
Yeah, we've been through a lot the last 3 weeks. Meant to do this about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we've been ill, we've moved house.
Yeah.
Christmas shopping.
Everything.
Madness. Yeah. But here we are.
Here we are. Got there in the end.
Got there in the end.
With a few technical difficulties beforehand as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on a few episodes now. I mean, if my memory serves you well, I think Christine was your first.
Yeah, that's right.
And not long after that, we did Hellraiser 2, Hellbound.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So this will be my third.
This will be your third one.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, for people that don't know, you're not a huge horror fan, you prefer your horrors to be more in books rather than movies. But this is going to be an odd one, because obviously the last two, Christine and Hellraiser, they were books and you were able to refer to them, but this is not.
Yeah, this is my first where I can't think about the book version.
yeah, this is it's going to be a fun one, because it's kind of a comedy horror. I'm not even sure if you can call this a horror movie, because it's really silly.
It is. It's cute though. I love Gremlins.
It's cute. It has its moments. It kind of starts off more on the horror-y aspect, but then more towards the end, that's when the fun and silliness comes.
Yeah, the idea of it is definitely terrifying. If you were in real life going through all this, it would be scary.
Yeah.
But watching it on a film, yeah, it makes you laugh.
How many times have you seen this? Obviously, it's not your first.
I think we watch it every year, don't we?
Pretty much.
Every year at Christmas. I've lost count.
I think because the last episode of All Things Horror, me and Matt covered Krampus. And I believe I actually said on that, because he asked me what our go-to Christmas film is. And I'm not too clued up when it comes to Christmas horrors. It's literally just Krampus and Gremlins.
Yeah.
But I did say Gremlins tends to be the one, I would say, every year that I go to.
We definitely watch it every year.
Yeah.
That and Love Actually.
Love Actually. Well, you like Love Actually.
You like it too. You like it too. All right. He doesn't like it. Sorry.
Yeah, I would say this is this is good for younger people that haven't necessarily seen any scary films and want to dip their toes more into the scarier type films. It's kind of a introduction. There's no blood and guts. It's more kind of shock and violent kind of, but in a comedic way, fun way.
Yeah, definitely. There's no extreme gore.
No,
there's a little bit of gore in places.
I don't think there's actually any blood in this, is there?
No blood. It's just it's more like the idea of gore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Without spoiling the movie.
Yeah. Because this is it's an extremely well-known movie. Even for people that haven't seen Gremlins before, you know what it is. God knows who hasn't seen this movie. I think everyone's seen Gremlins at some point.
I don't think we need to worry about spoilers. I'm sure everyone has seen this film.
But yeah, they definitely know the name for sure. And even Gizmo, the name Gizmo. I mean, most people tend to name their pets Gizmo. Yeah,
I've known a lot of people with dogs and cats that are called Gizmo.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure even my nan knows what Gremlins is.
Yeah.
So you like this one, do you?
Yeah, my favourite Christmas film.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I think I probably watched it as young as 10 years old or something. I remember watching it with my family at home when we were kids.
Yeah. This is 1984. So yeah, no, it's a good one. I definitely watched it when I was really young at Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I watched a lot of quite graphic horrors. I started young, but then again, saying that, this was probably my introduction into it.
Yeah, well, it's not a surprise that you've watched horrors as a kid. Wasn't it your dad found you watching Hellraiser at age 8 or something?
I think it was actually Nightbreed.
Oh, okay.
Which is also Clive Barker.
Might be worse.
Maybe. I reckon the fact that this is a Christmas horror, it really helped its success. Films because this is very similar, I don't know if you've seen these, but it's very similar to Critters, Troll and Ghoulies. They're very much, and I think even Critters came out the same year as Gremlins. But yeah, in my opinion, the fact that Gremlins based it at Christmas, I think it gave it a higher push. Because the fact that there's not an awful lot of Christmas horrors around.
Well, yeah, and you say, there's a movie about these little creatures running around causing havoc, and it's a Christmas film.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, a Christmas film. If you leave off the Christmas film, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Because that's also something that I mentioned to Matt. I was like, I know there's a lot of Christmas horrors. I'm not saying there's not loads of Christmas horrors, because there is. But if someone was to ask me to name a load of Christmas horrors, I 5 maybe I'd be able to name. I don't know.
I couldn't give you any apart from Krampus because you've just said it. And Gremlins.
Gremlins, Krampus, Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I haven't even seen those last 2. So, yeah. It
Well,
goes
that's
to
the
show
thing
you.
as well. Everybody wants to just sit down with the family at Christmas and watch a film. So
True. Yeah, true.
if you brand it as a Christmas film, people are going to watch it around Christmas, and you're going to get higher box office, higher selling, more views.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's become iconic almost, hasn't it?
It is. It's very iconic. I mean, Joe Dante, he was the director for this. And he also did Gremlins 2. I don't know if you've seen any of his others. He did The Burbs, he did The Howling, Piranha, and Small Soldiers.
I've seen Small Soldiers, thanks to you.
There. I'm just showing Lana
your
on
DVD.
Blu-ray. There it is. Joe Dante.
Yeah, interesting film, Small Soldiers. It's a bit weird, it's a bit scary for a kid. It freaked me out a bit.
Which one?
Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers.
Not Gremlins.
I thought that was a lower rating than it actually was, because I watched that as a kid, or whenever it came out. I don't know when it came out, but that's actually a 12.
It's a bit scary.
Yeah.
That thing, that's like a ball with feet. It's freaky.
Yeah, I can't remember its name. I did have them all.
You've got a model of it.
Yeah.
It was in the bedroom, and I had to put a towel over it at night. It was scary.
Oh, I can't remember his name. Scratch It. I think his name is Scratch It, yeah. He's cool. He's a good guy. He's not the bad guy.
He looks like the bad guy. I don't like him.
Some people might think that about you.
Give you that.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever heard of Chris Wallace? Wallace? I don't know.
No.
But he did the effects for the film, the practical effects. He designed the Gremlins. And it's not surprising how good they are, because he's done films he did The Fly. He did the modelling for The Fly. Arachnophobia, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Piranha, which we said is also a Joe Dante, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, it goes on endlessly, but just those films alone just goes to show how great the practical effects are.
They are good. The only thing I'll say about the Gremlins is I don't know if I can say this yet. Probably it's fine. They look a bit light. He looks light. When they pick up Gizmo, it's like there's nothing to him. He's just like an air.
It's like lifting a little pillow.
Yeah, I think he would be heavier. If you take into account, if you pick up a little creature like that, like a rabbit, it's a bit heavy, isn't it? It's not just like picking up a bag of feathers or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they should have put some rocks in it or something. I don't know. Make it heavier.
Put some rocks in Gizmo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do. I understand. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm not sure, because obviously there would be animatronic, so I don't know whether that plays a part into it. You have to be careful, kind of.
Maybe, yeah. I can't just put rocks in it.
Yeah. Don't just grab it.
Maybe,
be careful, be careful.
They have to be gentle.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing I thought. Otherwise, they look really good, especially the evil ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's some big names in this film. I mean, you got Dick Miller, who's like the grumpy old guy. When we did Chopping Mall, he was the janitor in that. And I said on that one, every film he's in, he plays him. Like the grumpy kind of old man. That's just him.
Yeah. That tends to be a bit of a theme for actors, though, doesn't it? They tend to
Playing
have
the same
a
part.
very similar kind of character in everything that they do. And often it's a very different character to them. As an actual person, isn't it? Yeah.
Like Matthew McConaughey. Every film he's in, he's Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, I mean, Dick Miller, I mean, you've also got Corey Feldman. Obviously, very, very famous child actor. He was in a lot of stuff. Lost Boys, Stand By Me. And also, this one also slips through a lot of people, that Howie Mandel. He did the voice of Gizmo. Oh. You know Howie Mandel? No? He's a comedian, but you would know him for being the bald headed judge on America's Got Talent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, him.
I know him.
He did it. He did a lot of.
Literally only from that though.
That's the only way you know.
I think.
Yeah, well, he's a comedian. Well, that's how he kind of got his feet. But he was also a voice actor as well. So he, like this being one of his, I would say one of his breakout voice works is doing Gizmo. That's Howie.
Yeah.
I don't even think they like tweaked it. Like he can actually like do that.
I remember actually when we were watching it, he did the impression on America's Got Talent.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
I don't know if you want to crop that out.
What?
We're watching America's Got Talent.
Yeah, that's all right.
Might be embarrassed.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of it that I've really got. I mean, the only other thing was, from what I found online, was... Well, I've seen this popping up a lot over the last few years, but Gremlins 3, that's kind of been in and out of production for a long time. Chris Columbus is set to direct it, and all the original cast have said they'll be on board for it. But for whatever reason, it keeps getting pushed back. So I'd imagine it is going to happen, but I wouldn't hold my breath. It might be a while. But yeah, I mean, Gremlins 3, that's planning on coming out.
I honestly don't think I've seen Gremlins 2.
Have you not?
No.
Oh.
No, have we? We have. It's the one with the lady gremlin.
Lady
isn't
Gremlin,
it?
yeah, and the spider gremlin,
yeah.
and they've all got their own little characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have seen it.
Is it
But
is it
it's
a shopping
never the
mall?
same,
Some kind
is
of mall.
it?
Yeah.
It's never the same
I
as
think
the first
I actually saw the second before I saw the first. Because I distinctly remember having Gremlins 2 on VHS video. But I don't think I ever had the first one.
Oh.
But it was always on at Christmas, so...
You started with the sequel then?
Yeah.
You went backwards?
I think so. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
That's the thing. I've never not seen Gremlins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't remember having not seen it. It's one of them films.
It is. It is a good film. Yeah, I mean, other than the budget being 11 mil and then the box office making 213 mil, yeah.
Yeah, it made a lot of money.
Yeah, they made some bank on that.
Definitely.
Even the ratings, like the critics' rating on Rotten Tomatoes is 86, which is pretty high for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I've really got for pre-spoilers. I don't want to give anything else away.
Yeah.
What about you? You got anything?
Well, I did a little bit of research about the writer, because you know I like writing. All about
Of course.
writing. Yeah. So I wondered what actually inspired this whole idea of little killer gremlin things running around.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Chris Columbus, he was inspired, apparently, by a rodent infestation that he had in his house when he was at film school.
Oh.
So it was actually something that he wrote when he was in film school, and he could hear the creepy scuttering of the mice in his, like, loft area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that inspired the idea of, gremlins, rodents running around.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bit of trivia.
Oh, yeah, maybe I should have saved it for the trivia section.
That's cool.
Yeah, it amazes me how, like, these little everyday things can inspire, like, ideas that then go and make millions.
Did he get them wet and they formed more?
Maybe. Maybe that's what happened there. He thought, I'll throw some water over.
Yeah. We'll turn the lights on.
But they do, don't they? They scamper. If you have mice and you put the light on them, the torch, they, like, run off, don't they, to the corner.
Yeah.
It freaks them out.
Well, I remember our old house, like, we could hear everything in the loft, and I think there must have been a little hole, because we could hear, like, birds flying in and out every now and then in the loft upstairs. If we were in the bedroom, wake up in the morning, you hear some flattering upstairs. Yeah.
It's quite like an eerie noise, isn't it? They're like... inspiring.
Oh, you remember that for your next book.
Yeah. Well, remember the creepy birds in our loft.
Yeah. There you go. You can make that into a story.
Sorted.
The birds.
The birds.
Well, isn't that an
I think
Alfred
that's
Hitchcock?
Alfred Hitchcock. Is it the birds?
Yeah.
No.
It
Yeah?
is, isn't it? The Birds?
I think it's just called Birds.
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 Oh, there you go. You can do The Birds.
Cheating. Bird
Or
Box.
Birds in the Loft.
Bird Loft.
Okay. All right. Well, you got anything else?
No.
Awesome. Shall I hit that spoiler warning and let's go through the plot?
Hit that spoiler warning.
I'll hit it right now.
Spoiler warning.
Alright, so the film starts off. A struggling inventor, Randall Peltzer, visits a Chinatown antique store hoping to find a Christmas present for his son Billy. Inside, Randall encounters a small furry creature called a mogwai. The owner refuses to sell him the mogwai, but his grandson secretly does. He warns Randall to remember 3 important rules. Do not expose it to light. Do not get it wet. And most importantly, do not feed it after midnight. Randall returns home and gives the mogwai to Billy as a pet. So yeah, what do we think of this opening scene to the movie?
Oh, yeah. The bathroom buddy.
Yeah, his inventions are someone else.
A toothbrush and a shaver and a comb.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We all need a bathroom buddy,
And
don't
was it the smokeless ashtray?
we? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the bottomless ashtray. Oh, I can't remember. That's
I
a
think
thing,
it
though,
was-
isn't it? That's an actual thing.
Yeah, a lot of his inventions are already things. Like a smokeless ashtray, it's a thing.
Maybe that was a thing because of the movie.
Maybe they
Like
went off
people
of
who are actually seeing it, it's like that's actually not a bad idea,
it. Maybe.
and they make it.
That's decent.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see a bathroom buddy in the shops, though. Maybe you can get me one for Christmas.
Yeah, I absolutely love the theme tune for Gremlins. It's so happy and
Yeah.
upbeat. It's great.
It is. It's like it goes from being so dark, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To then suddenly it's all jolly.
It's one of those things that it's really happy and upbeat, but also if you put the Gremlins over it, it's menacing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can put it over Gizmo, and it's really like you're like, oh, Gizmo.
Yeah.
And then you put it over like was he called Stripe,
Oh yeah.
the main
Stripe.
gremlin,
Yeah.
and you put it over him, and they're causing havoc. It works both ways.
It does.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where you can play it and you know immediately where it's from, and that is one of those things that kind of glues everything together. Like if you watch this without the score or the soundtrack, you kind of lose the wittiness and the silliness and everything about it. Like I'm saying, it's got that upbeat. If it didn't have that, I think this would be a completely different film.
I think that's partly why it's so good as well, because it doesn't take itself too seriously. Like I've not actually seen the other one, like Critters and what was the other one you
Critters
said?
is good. As Critters, Ghoulies, and Troll.
Yeah, but do they like take themselves really seriously and they're trying to scare you with it?
Oh, it's been a long time. The one that's closest to Gremlins is Critters. That's very similar, and I think it came out the same year.
We'll have to watch.
If not, it was definitely following, like the following year. But Critters is good. I think it is more serious from what I remember. Like I said, it's been a long time. I think I got a box set of it down there actually. But yeah, it's good. I like it. You should watch it.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think most people, when they sit down to watch a film, they don't, well, apart from you, they don't just want to sit and have a really serious, scary film. Apart from you. And
like
most
that.
of your listeners, sorry everyone.
That's it, just offend all my viewers.
But you know what I mean? It's nice when you sit down to watch a film and like, yeah, it's a bit horror-y and it's like a bit cheeky, but equally you can have a bit of fun with it. There's
Yeah. I think, like, personally, if you can just going back to like the theme tune, the score, the soundtrack, whatever you want to call it, if you can instantly name a movie from the score or the soundtrack, then you've kind of made a high profile movie. Like Halloween, Exorcist, Ghostbusters, you name those, you play the score for that or the soundtrack for that straight away within a couple of seconds. That's The Exorcist or that's Ghostbusters. It's the same for this. You play this. It's Gremlins.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like, it kind of proves the point where it gives it that, I don't even know what you want to call it, credibility. Like,
what makes it kind of iconic.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is kind of on the same page as that.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Mogwai in Cantonese means gremlin.
Does it?
Yeah.
Ah.
It can also be translated to monster, an evil spirit, or even a demon. It's got multiple meanings. So Mr. Wing, the guy that owns the Chinese antique store, obviously being Cantonese, him calling it a mogwai, he's actually calling it a gremlin.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah?
If only he'd shared this fact. But then he didn't want to sell it, did he? It was his silly kid. Was it his kid?
Yeah. Why? Yeah, that's a bit confusing. He owns a store and he has it there in the store.
Why? Yeah. Why doesn't he put it downstairs or something?
Or maybe like he's judging the people that want to buy it.
Maybe
Because,
he knows.
Yeah. Towards the end, he says to Billy, "Oh, you're not ready for him yet, but maybe one day." So
there we go.
yeah, maybe
he's seeing if maybe one day someone's going to come in and they'll be ready.
He's a clever man, Mr. Wing.
Oh yeah, he's a wise.
He's a wise
Chinese man. Well, I liked the little noises that Gizmo makes, and I wondered where they came from. Like, because it almost sounds like they've.
Howie.
No, he does the. He does the talking, but I thought of
does the.
Yeah, but a lot of it they just do the little noises, you know, like. That's a terrible gremlin impression.
The what?
I'm not doing it again. You know, the little noises they make. So I thought, where does that come from? Do they like make that on the computer, or, you know, like computer generated effects or something? But actually, it's just the actors. Just like they let them ad-lib and just make the noise and like make up little words and things. And even later on, with all the little the evil ones going around. Again, it's all just voice actors, like just going around and doing their sounds.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they turn into... I can't even remember if Gizmo has much words he actually says, but it seems to be like the actual Gremlins have more dialogue.
Yeah, you do. You get little words slip through.
Yeah, like when Stripe, like, he sees Gizmo, he's like, Gizmo!
Yeah.
You know?
I thought that was pretty cool, though. They just gave, like, people a script and a microphone and said, just make up whatever you want. Yeah.
Just go with
Make some little, like, squeaky noises, throw some words in. I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah. It is kind of fascinating, like, the way voice actors work. I mean, I don't know if it's changed over the years, but from what I've seen is they just kind of play the movie on a screen, and as it's playing, they just got kind of like talking over it.
Yeah, they just put their voice to it.
Yeah.
So they're watching everything these gremlins are doing, and they're just
voicing
like,
it. Yeah.
Especially that, I will get to it later, but that scene in the pub, you know, where they're like all just going crazy. Imagine people must be sat in their little recording booth watching that and just making up whatever they think these gremlins are up to. It's great. It sounds like so much fun as well.
There's smoking, playing darts, poker. It's brilliant. Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that scene.
So, anyway, Billy works at the local bank, but fears that his dog Barney will be put down by a grouchy, sour-faced old bag called Mrs. Deagle. Oh, we'll get to her in a bit. But, Randall names the Mogwai Gizmo and explains the 3 rules. Gizmo is friendly and docile, but when Billy's young friend Pete accidentally spills water over Gizmo, 5 more Mogwai spawn from his back. They seem more troublemaking and led by their leader, Stripe.
Oh, Stripe.
Named because he's got a white mohawk. Billy,
The symbol of all evil.
yeah,
A white mohawk.
he's like the punk gremlin.
Yeah.
Billy shows off the spawned mogwai to his former school science teacher, Mr. Hansen. Hansen experiments spawning another mogwai. Yeah. Mrs. Deagle, what a bitch, am I right?
She is awful.
Oh, she's horrible.
Why is she threatening to kill his dog?
How can you hate a dog so much?
Right?
Like, it's in a bank, isn't it? Like, she's just like leaning over the bank. Like, when I get that dog.
I know. Let's go back to the dog at the bank. Why is he taking his dog to
Oh.
work? That's so random.
I
How
don't
can you
know.
take your dog to work?
Yeah. it's like,
Imagine if you took Pepper to work. What would she be like?
just stay under my desk. Don't say anything.
She wouldn't though, would she? She'd be going
Absolutely
up
not.
with her wagging bum.
Yeah.
Background on our dog, we have a Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. And hyper isn't even a
No.
word close to what she is.
Doesn't cover it.
No. Yeah, I mean, maybe she should be put down, Mrs. Deagle.
I thought you meant Pepper.
No, I'm talking about a film.
Sorry. Yes, I think she should.
Yeah.
Euthanize Mrs. Deagle.
I mean, you know, she'll be getting what's coming to her.
Oh yeah, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll get to her in a
Yeah.
bit. Ugh.
It is like the dog understands everything, though, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah, he knows
jumps
what's going
and
on.
bites her or something.
Yeah, yeah.
He's watching every word she's saying, and then as soon as she gets to like one really aggressive bit,
That's a clever
and he
dog.
jumps over.
She's proper threatening him. And the whole time the dog's just under there like, oh, I'm going to take this bitch out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I noticed something. I love that it's 2:20 a.m. in the school classroom. You know, when Mr. Hansen has the mogwai.
Yeah.
I looked at the clock on the wall and it said like 2:20, assuming it's 2:20 in the afternoon, because obviously PM it will still be school time and it's dark outside. And it's that, and then he says something and decides to go home. He's like, oh, that's it for the day. And I'm like, well, fucking yeah. I mean, 2:20 in the morning, and that's when you want to go home.
Oh yeah, that's a bit too much overtime for a
Yeah.
teacher, isn't it?
Yeah, he's invested in this
Oh
mogwai.
yeah, definitely. Poor
Yeah.
thing though. Why is he jabbing it? Getting blood test.
Yeah,
Poor gremlin.
well,
No wonder it went evil.
I guess. I mean, it's essentially like a kind of alien.
A kind of alien.
Well, have you ever seen a mogwai before?
So are you trying to say that Gremlins is actually a science fiction movie?
Well,
Ah.
when you put it that way, I mean,
So it's not a horror even. It's a Christmas science fiction movie.
a Christmas horror comedy sci-fi. Yeah.
Well, they do say when you combine all the genres, that's when you have a winner.
Well, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay. Not for the Gremlins after midnight though.
They do eat chicken, though, don't
But,
they?
yeah. They have some chicken.
They literally have a chicken dinner. But yeah, aside from Mrs. Deagle, how do you like Gizmo's new brothers and sisters?
They're cheeky, aren't they?
They're very
you can
different.
tell. You
Yeah.
can tell. And Gizmo's, he knows, doesn't he? As soon
He
as he
knows.
gets the water on him, he's oh no.
Well, because that's what I was thinking. Like, I've always wondered, like, why is Gizmo the only nice one? Like, well, behaved kind of nice one. Because, like, before they turn into like actual gremlins, because they're mogwais at this point. So before they actually turn into gremlins, I noticed like when it happened, like when he spawned a load and they were doing their stuff, I noticed that he was really sad. Like Gizmo was really sad and he was shaking his head, like, and that to me is like, oh, this has happened before.
Yeah, definitely it's happened
It's
before.
happened before. Like they've poured water on Gizmo before, and this has happened, and
Yeah.
they've tortured poor little Gizmo, and he's going through it all again. Like he knows what's about to come.
Poor Gizmo.
Yeah, maybe they should do, instead of a Gremlins 3, they should do a Gremlins prequel.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, to
Let's,
show to show how it all began.
That is a really good idea.
Where
Because they had that guy, didn't they, in the pub that was talking about, he was like rambling nonsense about Gremlins.
Yeah.
Again, a bit later on, but they should go back and tell his story.
That'd be a
whatever
good one.
happened. That's a really good idea.
Where did the Mogwais originate from?
But I think Gizmo is meant to be the original, isn't he?
I would say so.
The main,
Yeah.
where it came from. I don't know who made him.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, maybe that might be Gremlins 3. Maybe Gremlins 3 will be a prequel.
Could be.
Yeah.
Be good.
Cool. Right, what's next? So, back at home, Stripe and his fellow Mogwai trick Billy into feeding them after midnight, severing the power cord on his alarm clock. They form cocoons, as does Hanson's Mogwai, which soon hatch, emerging as mischievous, dark green reptilian monsters called Gremlins. Here we are. Who then torture Gizmo and then attack Billy's mum.
Oh, Billy's mum. Oh,
Billy's
my God.
mum. Oh, she went through the wars in the kitchen.
She is nuts.
And then Mr. Hanson is killed by his gremlin, the one that he's got in the classroom.
Mr. Hanson deserves to be killed.
Oh,
Good, he had the needles poking out his bum as well. I loved that.
yeah.
Get him
Yeah.
back. He was
Yeah.
like, you stab me with a needle, I stab you with needles.
Billy and his mum are able to kill off the gremlins except for Stripe, who escapes and jumps into a local swimming pool, spawning an army of gremlins who wreak havoc on the town.
Oh no.
Many people are injured or outright killed by the gremlins' rampage, including Mrs. Deagle. No remorse for her.
No remorse. She deserved her weird flying up the stair lift and out the window death.
Oh man, she got straight up yeeted.
Yeah. She was yeeted right out that window.
Honestly, I think that is probably like the scene that I cling on to the most when I think about Gremlins. The part where they fuck with her stair lift, so it like launches her out the window and across the street. That and the carol singers at the front door.
Yeah.
I think that, because I think it's like on the back of the box as well. When he had it, like, because I'm pretty sure I might have had this on VHS, but I'm pretty sure like on the back of the box it's the little gremlin carol singers. But I think, yeah, ever since I was a kid, watching her stair lift just fly up and launch her out the window and across the road, and the police in the car are just watching her go over the street.
That's when they realise as well, isn't it? They're like, oh, something's going on.
The police are being useless, like, as always. I mean, it's a film,
always,
so...
Yeah. I think my bit that has stuck with me is when the mum goes into the kitchen and, you know, it has that song that plays when the gremlins first go evil and she's not sure. Do you know what I mean?
What song's that?
Do you see what I
Oh,
see?
do you see what I see? Yeah.
That is like, to me, whenever I hear that song like on the radio or anything in shops, I just immediately think of Gremlins. But she's nuts. She like, because he ate all of her cookies. Don't fuck with her. She like fully chopped him up and everything. Put him in a blender.
Yeah.
One of them got microwaved. I think Mrs. Peltz had a past.
Oh, you reckon?
I think she was a hit woman or something. How can she so easily just murder two gremlins? Like, one goes in a blender, stuff you in there.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, no remorse.
If you come downstairs one time, you're home alone, you come downstairs, you go in the kitchen, and you see like, what is there, three of them?
3 nutty gremlins.
Yeah. What do
eating
you
my cookies.
What do you do?
Scream.
You scream and run out the door.
Run out the door. Yeah, I'd be in the garden.
You say,
shaking.
"Fuck this shit, I'm out."
I don't
and
pick
you
it
are
up.
out. That you don't. You last thing you want to do is touch it.
No, pick it up by the legs and stuff it in a blender.
And the microwave.
And the microwave.
Where's the other one? What did they do with the other one? Was that the one?
She just stabbed it. Oh, that's the one.
Oh,
that
it was in
nearly
the Christmas
got her.
tree. There was one in the Christmas tree, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, There's one in the Christmas tree.
I know
Or is that later on when
one of
Billy
them
comes
nearly
home?
Got her, and then Billy comes home, and it was about to kill her, and he killed it. But
Maybe,
then
maybe
Stripe-
Stripe was in the Christmas tree. I don't know. I remember one being in the Christmas tree because it falls on her or him. I don't know. It's been 3 weeks.
I know. We should have rewatched it.
We should have watched it again last night.
Never mind.
But yeah, I mean, you're starting to get some really great practical effects. Like I said, the practical effects were from Chris Wallace, however you say it. The Fly is one of my all-time top horror films, purely for the practical effects. And the hatching scene, when they come out of their little cocoons, that really reminds me of this. Like how gooey it was. Like, it is very kind of wet and gooey.
It is. It kind of reminded me of Alien, you know, when they're
Yeah, the
hatching
eggs.
out. Yeah, the eggs.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did he do the alien effects?
No.
No.
Don't think so. Yeah,
Would have been cool if he
I
had.
really like. I think that was probably a bit before him.
Yeah.
Alien was late 70s, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's something about that scene with the swimming pool when he jumps in the swimming pool. It really gets me excited.
Oh, really?
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what Strobe says.
Okay.
Didn't you hear it? I pulled that straight from the movie.
That was the ad lib of the actor when he was watching it. Help me.
I'm under the water. Yeah, I mean, you see what happened with like a single glass that spilled on Gizmo. How much that affected him.
Yeah.
So when he jumps in a swimming pool, I'm like, oh, it's about to go down. Which it does.
But they obviously multiply as well. So he's having however many come off, and then those are all having 5 come off each, and all those 5 are having another 5.
Well, yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
literally like an army
And then
about
he's
to take over the
still
town.
Soaking wet, so is he still getting another 5? How many? How many gremlins?
How many gremlins indeed?
Have you got a number?
I think I do.
Amazing.
Maybe. I don't know. It might be in the trivia. Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot.
Okay, a lot of gremlins.
I can't even remember. 3 weeks.
A whole lot.
Anyway.
Gizmo was cute though, wasn't he? He was really good, refusing to have the chicken. You know, they broke the clock, didn't they?
Oh,
To
yeah.
trick him.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "No, I don't want chicken."
Yeah, he refused to have any. Yeah, he
Goblins
didn't want any.
Good Gizmo.
Oh, it's that one, not Stripe, but there's another one, the one with the crazy eyes. Oh, when that one's eating chicken, and it's like, and it just like gnaws the bone.
That's how you eat chicken on the bone. When we get Nando's, that's
Well,
what you look
yeah.
like, and your eyes going round in your head.
Oh, noted. Okay.
I'll get a video next time. You
Oh,
can put it on your
God.
Instagram for your listeners.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Billy reports this to the police, but then, but they prove to be no help, as they don't believe his story, even though they actually show him Gizmo. Like, here you go. Look, here is a gremlin. Look, this is Gizmo. No. Still nothing.
It does look like a gremlin, but unfortunately it's not a gremlin.
Ah, you said they're green. This ain't green.
This is fluffy and cute and doesn't eat chicken.
As Billy rescues his girlfriend Kate, they hide in the now abandoned bank, where Kate reveals to Billy and Gizmo why she hates Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
When she was 9 years old, her father went missing on Christmas Eve. Then, several days later, he was found dead in their chimney, whilst dressed up as Santa Claus. He planned to surprise her, but accidentally slipped and broke his neck while climbing down the chimney. Still suffering from PTSD, Kate confesses this is how she discovered the truth about Santa Claus. That took a dark turn.
Now, this scene bugs me.
Oh, yeah?
Because
It bugs me too, but go on.
her delivery of that is brilliant on her part for being an actress and making it that emotional. And, you know, the way she's crying, and you can see in her face she's devastated. It's a really, really good performance on her part. But what the hell? Does anybody do that? Does anybody dress up as Santa and climb down the chimney?
Emotional damage.
Come on,
I had
that
it
was
ready.
heartless.
It was. Yeah.
Look, I feel for the girl. That would be very sad and traumatic.
It was, yeah.
But is that a thing? Do people do that?
Well, I made a note of that, because, like, considering this is a movie about gremlins, killing people, that's kind of the whole thing of the story, you know, like gremlins murdering pretty much a whole town. I think that story is more terrifying than the actual film.
I know. They should have done like a off-cut of that actually happening.
But
like that scene in Pet Sematary where she falls down the
oh yeah,
lift
yeah.
and she's all mangled.
I mean, that is an awful experience for a kid to go through. But I mean, it's kind of dumb. The fact that he tried climbing down a chimney.
Oh no, I hope I don't fall. No.
Too soon.
Oh. 1984, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's not
it was.
I don't think anybody would do that. But then it comes back into this whole comedy horror aspect, isn't it? They're putting like this slightly
but I mean,
twist.
I get he's doing it for her, but there's no way that I would climb down a chimney to surprise Oliver. I mean,
even got a chimney.
Well, if we had a chimney,
Sorry.
if we had a chimney, there's no way that I would get inside that chimney and climb down and surprise Oliver on Christmas Eve, because he would probably scream.
Yeah.
Just like that.
He would.
He
I
would.
would as well.
No way.
We both would. We'd be terrified.
Man, I think anyone would.
There's a man in my chimney. Yeah. It's dumb.
I mean, I remember when I was kind of getting to that age when I'm questioning how he got in, because I'm at that age where I'm questioning it, like fully believing, and then I'm starting to like notice things. Every kid gets to that age. I don't know what, 9 or 10. I don't know how old you are. But I'm questioning my mum and dad, like how he actually got in, because in the movies they always climb down the chimney and, you know, whatever. But we didn't really have a chimney.
No.
We did at one point, but it had been changed so they changed it to one of those like electric like grill ones, you know?
Yeah.
So I started questioning him. I was like, how's he getting through the electric grill
He's magical.
fireplace? That is literally what my mum said. She was like, he's magic.
He's magic.
You
Come
know?
on.
He's magic. And that just kind of shut me down pretty quick.
Okay.
I was like, okay, all right, okay, he's magic. He
Well,
can just...
as you know, I never believed in Santa.
Oh.
Yeah, sad upbringing for me.
I don't have a sound clip for that.
No.
Aww.
But I do remember my mum telling me, apparently I used to say to her, how do people believe in Santa? It's so stupid. They're idiots. Like, why do all these people in school still believe in Santa? What idiots?
You
How
said
is that
that.
even going to be possible? Yeah, apparently. I mean, I don't remember it, but she's told me now.
Oh, okay.
Idiots.
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 Who could ever be so stupid enough?
Our son.
Well.
Darling.
Oh, well, anyway.
Anyway.
Moving on. Billy and Kate discover that the town has fallen silent. The Gremlins are watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a local theatre. They set off a gas explosion, incinerating all the Gremlins except for Stripe, who left to get some candy at a shop across the street.
It's always Stripe.
Typical. It just happened to be him, didn't it? Out of all those Gremlins, the whole movie theatre worth of Gremlins, Stripe went out at that point.
Went to get
the leader left to get some more candy. Anyway, that aside, the morning approaches. They follow Stripe into the department store, where Stripe attempts to use a fountain to spawn more Gremlins. Yeah. I definitely feel like the further into the movie you get, the more that the silliness is kind of like amped up.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, like I said, when they're in that pub scene, I kind of seeing them as like, you know, when you're out drinking and then it gets really late and then you're in town centre and then you can see everybody going around and they're like really drunk and they're stumbling and they're causing chaos.
Yeah.
That's initially what it reminded me of.
Okay.
And now they're in the movie theatre watching Snow White. I'm like, actually, no, they're like toddlers. They are like a big gang of chaotic toddlers, and I'm convinced that if you had 1 million toddlers, that is what it would be like.
Oh,
Oliver is just a gremlin.
Yeah.
So much like that. He would just run and grab things, throw stuff, kick things over.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah.
But put on a singing cartoon, and they're all just sat there loving life.
Yeah, I mean, the silliness is from the get go, but like you're saying, like when it comes to like them watching Snow White, they're carol singing, they're smoking, they're drinking at the bar, and Gizmo going full on Rambo at the end. Don't get me wrong, like I love it, but I feel the end segment is where they definitely turn up and go full comedy.
Yeah, it gets a bit much, doesn't it? Even like there was a scene I remember where I think Gizmo got knocked on the head and he fell over and they had like a sound clip with like birds tweeting around.
Yeah. Donk.
Yeah, exactly. Like full cartoon comedy sketch thing.
Yeah. So we're getting right towards the end now. So Gizmo opens up a skylight, exposing Stripe to sunlight and ultimately killing him. As the local news reports on the day's mysterious tragedies, Mr. Wing reclaims Gizmo. He scolds the Peltzers for their negligence and criticises Western society for its carelessness with nature.
You are not ready for the Mogwai.
Yeah. That's exactly how he sounded,
exactly.
However, as he turns to leave, Gizmo, having bonded with Billy, says goodbye. A touched Mr. Wing then concedes that Billy may be ready one day, and until then, Gizmo will be waiting.
Aww.
Waiting for a sequel.
Oh. I did find that Gizmo, when he got there in the beginning, I know we've gone past it, but he was like really happy to be with this whole new family, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He went from living with this, is he Chinese, the man?
Yeah.
Chinese man in this shop for God knows how long, and then he's taken and he's given to this boy and in this family, and he's just settled straight in and he's happy. And you think he'd be a little bit of like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't
because
wanna-
he was
I
in
don't
like
know
a
you.
very dingy underground antique store, locked in a tiny, tiny little cage. Whereas at Billy's house,
Yeah,
you know,
he's-
he had full room of the bedroom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like an actual little.
Well, he was
pet.
like sat with them watching TV at one point, just
He was
quite happy.
essentially like a dog.
Yeah,
He was like he could just
exactly.
have full roam.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We know there's a Gremlin too, so he comes
Yeah.
back to Billy.
Yeah.
Okay, well that is the movie. That's the full plot. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and do our ratings. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Okay, so rating from 1 to 10. 1 to 10 bright lights. So I'm gonna rate this on what it is, and that is a fun, silly movie with some great practical effects and just the right amount of scares to still be able to enjoy it as a family film. It's not one to be taken seriously, so I'm not gonna rip it apart and nitpick it, you know, all the little plot holes, because that kind of defeats the whole point of the movie and what it's going for. So like we said, I tend to watch this whenever it's on, which is normally Christmas, you know, because I've noticed when I went on there on the other day on the TV, straight away Gremlins pops up, because we're in December now. So
And you think, oh yeah, Gremlins, pop that on.
yeah, I don't get sick of it at all. I could watch it every single year. I used to have this on VHS, so even as a kid, I've loved it and I still do. And like I said earlier, it's a good one to ease yourself into scary movies. If you got kids that are growing up and they want to start watching more scarier films, dip their toes into the horror genre, I would absolutely say this is a good kind of beginner film to ease your kids into more kind of scarier type films. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10 bright lights.
Very nice, good.
How would you rate this film?
I gave it a 9 out of 10 bright lights.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. I love Gremlins.
Right.
It's so much fun. Best Christmas movie ever. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's
okay.
it, yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well, you can't give a 10 unless a film made you cry or like inspired your life in changing ways, and it didn't go that far. So it's a
okay.
9 from me.
That's a good way of putting it. I normally reserve my 10s for something that's kind of like changed the genre.
Okay.
Because there's so many like subgenres of horror. Mm-hmm. I think if a movie has kind of like gone that extra mile to do something that's so different,
Yeah.
then yeah, that's kind of my reason for like upping it. Unless it was crap, and then it would be lower. But yeah,
Then it's a different story. Or I find if something like gets me so excited, you know, like recent Stranger Things series,
Oh, yeah.
I've never been that invested in something, you know, when she's running over that hill and we are literally on the edge of our seats.
running up that hill.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, that was tense.
Yeah.
So I reserve my 10s for scenes like that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah.
Is there
9.
any
Good 9.
Just whilst we're on the subject, is there any horrors films that you would actually give a 10? Because out of all the ones that we've reviewed so far, I think I've only ever given 1 10, and Matt hasn't given any 10s. And I can't remember what did I give it? Oh, Scream. I think I gave Scream a 10 because that's one of my all-time. And that kind of is a genre-changing one.
Changer,
The 90s one where they kind of like pick on other horrors.
Yeah, Scream is good.
Yeah. I think the highest Matt done was a 9, and that was The Exorcist.
I am going to have to get back to you on that one. Let me think.
Okay.
I don't think so. Off the top of my head, nothing like...
It's very hard to give a movie a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to horrors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could name a few books.
Go on then.
I won't. You won't know what they are.
Okay.
They're like fantasy books. You'll be like, what?
All right.
Who?
Okay, all right. Well, let's get into our trivia section. Right, what trivia do I have? There is actually loads of trivia online, so I've picked what I think was the best. Oh, have you got some? You put your hand up.
I've got a bit of trivia.
Oh, wow, okay.
Can I say it first? Because you probably got it too.
Okay, go on then.
So, they actually, the people that made Gremlins, they sued Furbies because when they made Furbies, they looked so much like Gizmo that they thought they were copycats, so they sued them.
Wait, who sued who?
The people that made Gremlins.
Gremlins sued Furby. Yeah, because I was going to say, that wasn't the same time, was it?
No, Furbies were made after, and they thought Furbies copied, like, Gizmo's look. So they,
I remember when Furbies came
sued
out.
them.
That must have been mid to late 90s.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh.
Did you have that? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Cool.
No.
Go on, tell me yours.
Interesting. Is that the only bit of trivia you've got?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, alright.
But I had the bit earlier about
Yeah,
the
no,
roast
that was
stuff.
good. Yeah. Alright, cool. Well, I have... originally, Stripe and Gizmo were the same character. This changed when executive producer Steven Spielberg, he insisted one of the Gremlins be a good guy with whom the audience could identify with.
Aww.
Director Joe Dante expresses that this decision was the reason why the film was fondly remembered.
I think definitely. Had Gizmo been a dickhead as well, it wouldn't have been as good, would it?
No,
'Cause Gizmo's
you
cute.
needed Gizmo.
Aw.
You needed Gizmo
Yeah.
throughout, didn't you?
Giz.
Yeah, it's a good call. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, everyone knows the film, and a big part of the reason why everyone knows the film is because of Gizmo.
Oh yeah, and everyone names their pets after Gizmo. We love Gizmo.
I don't think people would like Gizmo as much if he's the one that turned into a gremlin.
A nasty.
No, that's good. Good call. An earlier attempt to have monkeys play the Gremlins was abandoned because the test monkey panicked when it was made to wear a gremlin head.
What?
Yeah.
Why would
They
you
tried to
even
get
try?
a monkey to act as a gremlin.
Oh my god.
Wearing a gremlin head.
Well, that was never gonna work.
I mean, that's
Good try.
hilarious, but FYI, monkeys don't like wearing masks.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh, God.
At least they tried.
They tried. One of Kate's screams in the scene at the Dory's Tavern, I think it was called, that it's actually genuine. An enormous cockroach crawled out in front of her during one of the takes.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, I always find it fascinating when I find out like certain reactions in films are genuine and actually real because of a certain reason.
Well, she was a good actress as well, so you wouldn't know.
She was good. Yeah. And she was back in the sequel, so she obviously did a good job. I think everyone was. All of them. Billy, Kate, and Dick Miller.
What about Mrs. Peltzer?
Ah, she's dead.
She did.
Yeah, she got yeeted.
No, you're getting confused.
Mrs. Peltzer. Sorry, I thought you meant Mrs. Deagle. No.
Yeeted.
Oh, yeah, she got straight up yeeted. No.
Yeah. No, Mrs. Peltzer.
Mrs.
She's gone back
Peltzer,
to her.
Was she in it?
She's
I
gone
think
back
she
to her
was.
hitman job.
I think she was. Hitman. Hit woman.
Hit woman.
Hit
Sorry. Hit person.
This is 2023, I have you know.
I apologise.
What else we got? The film was released the same day as Ghostbusters, 1984. Released on the same day. That must have been tough. Yeah, it's funny, like, I mentioned earlier, like, this is kind of on the same scale as Ghostbusters. You know, when I was talking about, like, the theme tune and everything, where you can, like, listen to a theme and you know what it is.
Who you gonna call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to, let alone it being the same year, but actually the same day it was released. That's pretty, yeah.
And they both did really well.
Very, very successful.
It's a very, very different sort of film, though, isn't it?
Well,
unless the Gizmo is an alien. I don't know. But maybe it's not.
This is interesting. So, this is my last one, by the way. At the end, Gizmo pulls a window blind that exposes Stripe to the sunlight. But originally, there were two window blinds, and Gizmo pulls the first one and then Billy pulls the second one. This scene was edited because Steven Spielberg believed that Gizmo was the hero of the movie and not Billy, and therefore Gizmo should have been the one responsible for the demise of Stripe.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like the idea of them both doing it as well, though, because they're like, you know, new besties. This is a new friend. They working together to defeat these evil gremlins.
I did notice that, actually, because if you watch it carefully, knowing that now, if you watch it carefully, you do actually see Billy run for the blind release thing.
Okay.
But then, obviously, it happens and you only see Gizmo's one go up. So, yeah, I don't think there was any retakes involved. They just edited
got
down.
rid of him doing it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good call. I mean, as we just said, everyone loves Gizmo, so it seemed kind of fitting that he has the honour of ending Stripe.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice if they'd done it together.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Equally, it was fine.
Well, I think Billy probably has more to do with the second one. How they all die in the second one. I can't remember. It's been a long time, but I reckon Billy has a lot more involvement in that. Maybe we should watch that one at Christmas. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if Gremlins 2 is a Christmas film. I think it might just be the first.
Just a film.
Just a film.
A film.
Yeah.
We can watch a film though. We don't have to watch a Christmas film.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, yeah.
We can watch Love Actually.
Alright, cool. If you're ready, we'll do this week's game.
Oh, a game. I like a game.
Play a game.
Alright, so this game I've made is called What's That Movie? So I'm going to be thinking of a film, and you've got to guess what it is by only knowing the director and the year it was released.
Oh, I'm going to be terrible at this, but okay, go for it.
Okay. For most horror fans, this will be really easy, but I know that you're not.
Oh, everyone's going to be screaming at me. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Think carefully. Right. Wes Craven, 1996. Name a good 90s horror film.
Scream?
Yay! You got one! Okay.
I'm so nervous if I get it wrong. I'm going to be hunted.
Hopefully you get this one. John Carpenter, 1983. What movie did John Carpenter do in 83?
See, I know the name because you talk about it all the time. John Carpenter.
You should know this. From movies that we've watched.
One that we did a podcast about?
It might be.
Was it Christine?
That's good, you got two.
Yay.
What? How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 2 out of 6 so far.
Okay, I'm so nervous.
You might not know this director's name.
Okay.
Toby Hooper from 1974.
I don't know.
It is
I've never heard of that name.
Absolute classic. 74.
1974.
There's not really another killer like him. And it was based roughly on true events.
Was it based on Ed Gein?
Maybe.
Nipple Belt Man.
Nipple Belt Man.
Nipple Belt Man. Well, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on... Is that...
Yay! I helped you out, but you got there.
Yeah.
Okay. George A. Romero from 1982.
I don't know that name.
Okay.
Give me a hint, please.
George, this might not help you, but George A. Romero, rest in peace, is he was known for kind of like creating the zombie genre.
Okay.
I'm not saying that this is a zombie film, but he collaborated with Stephen King to make this film.
So is Stephen King, or he just helped?
They both kind of did this film. George A. Romero and Stephen King kind of like wrote it, and George A. Romero directed it. It's a very unique kind of film.
Do I actually know the film?
You do know it.
Can I have another hint?
I can't remember the name of how you would call it. It's not an anthology. It's like a series of short films.
Creepshow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a name for it. I can't remember.
I should have got that when you said zombies, because they are all like, they're not zombies.
One of them is.
Yeah, because they're like crawling out the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like themed zombies. Creepshow.
This is a more newer, modern one. James Wan from 2010.
I'm sorry, I'm going to need more.
So it's more of a supernatural type film.
Have we seen it?
We have seen it multiple times, and I think they've probably done about 6 of them. 5 or 6.
Conjuring. No? Oh, I was so sure.
Very, very close. James Wan did do The Conjuring.
Oh, okay, so it's not that bad.
He did do it.
Far-fetched.
And it's very similar, but it's not. I think he did this one just before he did The Conjuring.
And it's a supernatural film.
It's a supernatural film, and I think they've
both
literally
seen several times.
They've got the latest ones coming out this year. The latest film is called The Red Door.
Are you sure that I've seen it several times?
I think you have. Okay, well, you didn't get it anyway. It was Insidious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it millions of times.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Alright, okay.
Okay, last up is Sam Raimi from 1981. Sam Raimi. And this was his debut film.
Jeepers Creepers.
You think Jeepers Creepers was done in 81?
I was just said the first film that popped into my head.
No, Sam Raimi did The Evil Dead.
Oh, was I not getting more hints?
No, you got it wrong.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you did all right. I had to help you through, but you got 4 out of 6.
Not too bad.
Which is good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I apologise to everybody that has been screaming at me while listening.
There's people like gripping their fists.
I know.
And like,
Come on, it's so obvious.
This is a horror podcast and she doesn't know Sam Raimi.
I'm so sorry. But I have very much enjoyed being a guest.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Let's wrap up this episode.
Merry Christmas.
So yeah, like just to wrap up, we're gonna stay on the Christmas train, rolling into our next slaying horror. You like that?
I like that.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was good. Yeah, so I think next episode we're gonna be doing Black Christmas. I've not seen it. It's been on my list for a long time, so hopefully I enjoy it. It's the original, not the remake. So.
Marvellous.
Brilliant.
That would be good fun.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on and being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. It's been good fun.
Yeah, and I hope you come back again.
Yes.
Brilliant. Bye.
Bye.
If you liked today's episode and want to hear more, then go ahead and give us a follow on wherever you're listening from. You can also like us on Facebook, as that's where we do our themed poll picks, where you get to vote for what we do next. Feel free to leave us a comment or send us a message, or you could even email us at allthingshorror666@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
We all go a little mad sometimes.